I got the shine. See me flexing in my solar plexus. No more with no direction. Start to get knowledge yourself, so that means self-expression. All these demons, yo, they so aggressive. Many people, they possess them. Channeling make me rethink my message. You see that light, I'm the one who protects it. You hear they songs, it's gibberish, just like the infected. Words void and cold, got everything.
Peace, 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 family. How's everybody doing? I hope you all are having a wonderful day so far. Today we're going to be talking about the Pisces New Moon happening on March 2nd. This is a great time to set any new intentions. I'm trying to think how far away from this I am, but I talked about it in the weekly astrology. And a lot of what I talked about is still very relevant in the Neptune and Jupiter conjunction video. And so this, just to say the least, that this is going to be a lot of repeat, right? Because we're about to have a stellium of planets in Pisces, right? And so Pisces is going to be a really big theme. And so naturally, a lot of things are going to be repeated. And a lot of the stuff I talked about in the yearlies, from a very historical worldview perspective, for the most part, this is a lot more personal. But either way, still very important to have the discussions about it. And so in advance, I appreciate your patience and consistently coming in to hear what my crazy self has to say. I really do appreciate you. If you could, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell so that you can be notified every time we go live. And so this is very creative, spiritual, given energy. And we're wrapping up a lot of old cycles. I'd even say from ages ago, because we're wrapping up the age of Pisces and we're moving into the age of Aquarius. So even though Jupiter is only a 12-year cycle, and I could break down all the other cycles of whatever other planets I discuss in here, I think the bottom line is we're going way back into time. That's just the bottom line. And from the information that I'm learning in this ancient astrology class that I'm taking is like, even back to when we were great, before we had all these kind of lower vibrational energies, is where we're really trying to, I don't want to say get back to, but paying our karmic debt. So, before we got to this time and we had to experience this fall, I talked a lot about this in my winter solstice and having the discussion about Gemini, the twins, the Pollux, and damn, I forgot the other name. I'm going to have to go back to that. I'm pretty sure it was the winter solstice video, where I talk about how we got to our fall, right? And understanding that story. And so, we're really talking about how we got to this place of having to come down here to live through all of this karma. We're now, we're not in power. And the reason for that, in my ancient knowledge and understanding, is because when we were in power, we didn't share the knowledge. And so what we did was, in a way, is we birthed this hatred, envy, and jealousy within the people who did it, which were white people, the cave people, the people who lived in the caves. We didn't share our knowledge with them. And so in return, their envy and hatred, that as they did learn, they snuck and learned everything. And so you have to understand a person who's bred underneath those conditions are reborn again within those conditions. And so you can see that storyline playing out here on Earth, is that they stole everything from us. They sneak and do things away from us the same way that they felt we did to them. And so we had to go through that karma, which is all of the age of Pisces, if you ask me. But then when you look at and understand the age of Aquarius and what that is that we really have to learn how to come together, acceptance, forgiveness, this unconditional love of the Pisces energy, so that we can get to this Aquarius energy where we work together as a team, as a humanity, and build in this 5D energy, which is the story of Ouroboros or Ouroboros. If you see the photo right here, whenever you see this symbol of the dragon eating its own tail, this is the story, the cycle, the karma, the dharma that we are experiencing here, and the undoing of that, and even in the sense that, the white people who learned these kind of dichotomies and these kind of bad habits, really is what I want to say, if you will, from the parents who are us. And now you can see that reversed. And so, yeah, I do think that their karma is due to them as well for doing what they've done. And we've paid our debt, and now it's their turn. But I also feel like we got to do better. And whatever their karma is due to them, they're going to reap. We don't have any control of what that is and how that looks. But either way, we do have to begin at the stage and understanding of forgiving them in order to undo all of this. And another way that we're doing that is a lot of the things that I talk about here, which is understanding that we have to learn how to come together and build and love ourselves, and undo, relearn the programming, right? And what does that look like? And what do we want that to do? Which is dreaming big. That's more Pisces energy. And then Aquarius is like fulfilling those dreams, that your hopes and wishes and what you would want this to look like, and how to manipulate the energies and understanding how to do that. And it's very unbiased and not being bothered. Sovereignty, right? I talked about this in the Leo full moon energy. I talked about this in that video and what it means to be sovereign within relationships. And so getting our culture back, taking back our knowledge and gifts and talents, and having control in the way that we disperse them by making our own platforms and our own country. You know what I mean? Like our own whatever, right? We have to be able to get to a point where we understand the importance of that. And again, the setting up systems and structures that allow us to pass down energy, back to where we were. And this is all Saturn was really trying to wake us up to since 2019, right? And all through 2020. And so, we have to go get back to the basics. And I think even Taurus in the North Node is going to give us more of that. And we'll begin to see more of that storyline and these kind of challenges being played out really over the next 2 years with the Taurus and Scorpio axis, because Scorpio is all about the releasing and Taurus is all about sustainability and getting back to the basics. The very simple things in life, right? This new moon is conjunct Jupiter, which will expand all of the Pisces themes. And so on the lower vibration, Pisces rules illusions, delusions, addictions, the victim mentality, not taking responsibility for the way that our life is, lack of clarity, fogginess, lack of direction, and pharmaceuticals, health, even imprisonment of the mind, right? Hollywood, and I'm thinking that's about all of the lower vibrations of Pisces. And then on the higher vibration, Pisces rules spirituality, intuition, faith, trusting in the process, intuition, spiritual retreats, meditation, mastering the mind, mental health. That's another negative, depending on how you look at it. All the mental institutions, I forgot that too. Dreams, sleep, water, the oil, and dance, photography, director, really any creative project, fashion, the feet. Pisces rules the feet. Yeah. And again, I've done bigger videos in the yearly 2020s again where I break all of this stuff down. But just so that you can have an idea of the higher vibrations and the lower vibrations of Pisces is what we're mastering here. And so Jupiter rules knowledge, law, spiritual law, universal law, travel, philosophy, worldview, beliefs, culture, foreigners, because it's specifically long distance culture, long distance travel, so other countries, other cultures, foreigners, foreign things to you. And Jupiter's bringing in a lot of hope and joy. And just, like, allow this new thing that's coming into you to be like a journey, and trust the process of that journey and know that you were led to this place for a reason. And maybe you don't have all the answers, but you just know instinctively, intuitively that this is going to be an awesome freaking ride. Okay, and so then we have the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, which happens on April 12th, but we'll start to feel that as early as March 1st. I mean, I honestly think that people are possibly feeling it now. This is very high vibrational mysticism, again, intuition, unconditional love energy. And we can look forward to seeing more of the same in April. I'd even say that mid-March will be the beginning of eclipse season. And so for all my patrons, you'll get your eclipse horoscopes mid-March. And anybody else who's interested in getting your horoscope, you can sign up to become a patron for just $5 a month. And that comes with weekly astrology specific to you. And you'll need your date of birth, time of birth, and location of birth to be able to participate in that. And also, while I'm talking about services, if you want a reading, if you're struggling or feel like you're struggling with these things, don't hesitate to reach out to get a reading. And we have the 20th, which is tomorrow, although I think I'm recording this later in the day, after the 20th. We have an event, but I'd still strongly suggest you go back and watch the video. I might try to re-record the video that we do and post it on my page. But I would strongly suggest you go back and watch the video for an opportunity that I really think people are going to appreciate. Also, Queen Dawn and I have the Two Dope Queens project that we're working on together. And if you want more information on that, be sure to join us on the 22nd, where we're going to talk about exactly what that is and what we'll be doing. And yeah, I think that's with one of those particular tiers with Queen Dawn and I do monthly horoscopes. If you're more interested in doing that as opposed to the weekly. And March horoscopes are already up over there. And those will only be exclusive to that Patreon page and that tier. So if you're interested, you have any questions or want more information about what it is I'm doing and how you can be involved, you can email me at info@awayoflife.net. All right. So, yes, I think even as we move more into the drama-filled eclipse season and Aries season, because it's Mars ruled. So I'm not saying that Mars ruled people are drama-filled, by the way. I just want to make that very clear. But Mars energy alone, again, if you've been following me for a while, you already know what I'm talking about. Mars is an extremely volatile energy, okay? And it's going to move into Jupiter in May. And because that energy is going to be activated mid-March, I think even, I just feel like if you don't learn anything from this Pisces season, is to find peace within, right? That's what we meditate for, as a way to escape from the drama and distractions of your mission and understanding the mission, right? Which is to stand in your power, stand in your ground, know who you are, and know that you are on the journey and the path that you're meant to be, right? And so really that's what we're honing in here, because I think it's gonna be a hot, crazy ass summer. That's all I'm gonna say. But the potential for greatness, if you really understand it, is going to be quite magical. Okay. And so, really, I think we're going to be getting a glimpse again of what to expect. I've even actually noticed for the calls that I take on the psychic hotline that I'm on, that people have that Jupiter and Mars energy is already activated. I've had 2 calls from sports, people in sports really going through it. And you have to remember, again, family, is to not see the fact that if you are struggling in any way, shape, or form with this energy, that you are not doing well. Remember, that is the process. That's a part of the process too. You know, is to awaken you to your greatness. And it might be very uncomfortable, right? And so even from that aspect and that perspective, as we move through these Pisces energies, to keep that in mind, that Pisces is very loving and supportive no matter what color, shape, form, anything that you are. You know, there's no judgment here. That's unconditional love. You are giving off of yourself in order to give somebody a hug, or believe in somebody enough as to give them hope to believe in themselves. Okay. Very, 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 very important lesson this Pisces season, and these Pisces placements that are being played out. Okay. Now, Neptune also rules water, the ocean. So we could see a lot of floods, issues with water, and toxicities, especially toxicity in water. So another, was it Flint, Michigan, that had the water issue? Do you guys remember that? I could have that completely messed up, but I know you guys know what I'm talking about. And so we could even see on the world stage, if we're not seeing a lot of rain, floods, tsunamis, you know, all things ruled by water, right? If we're not seeing those kind of things showing up, or even the toxicity of the ocean, or that Flint, Michigan thing coming up again as a way to, you know, how do we deal with that? Or the results of that now. Those things could be coming out on the world stage. You already know with the oil thing, I've talked about it a few times. I don't want to make it seem like I've been talking about, I've actually been avoiding talking about that with this Mars energy flaring up. Like, I genuinely don't think Russia has any intentions on being nice about whatever that is that they're going through, because I can see the Pluto return for America, not well. Like, it's just not, it's not what's up. Like, we're looking at another 9/11, but in an Aries type of way, which is war. And I'll be talking about that, or you can just go back to the Jupiter and Aries 2022 video that I did, and that's going to give you more stuff. All right. This is a great time to bring in clarity to illusions. You know, I do think this is a spiritual awakening, and people are going to have miraculous things happening. And I have been talking about this, which is like, if you do have a drug and alcohol problem, that you simply wake up one day and you're just like, yo, I don't need these fucking drugs no more. You know, and then you fulfill your life with those things that have been, you know, whatever you was taking the drugs for, you fill your life with things that are more healthier, but to keep you getting that same feeling, right? However that might be playing out for you. It could be in a multitude of ways. I'm sure you guys can all imagine. People are addicted to things for all different kinds of reasons. Again, it's that victim mentality where these systems and structures start to fall, and then, you know, you get the truth on America and what it's really always been about, and you're like, oh shoot, now I see. First I was blind, but now I see. And now that you know the truth, you can't go back to what was false, because it doesn't exist, right? You're going to find out that's the illusion that we're breaking and cracking. And so now you got to, again, fill that with something more healthy, right? And so that whole dichotomy is being played out here. This is a great time to have a dream journal. You could be getting massive amounts of downloads from the divine, from your ancestral line, from other dimensions. I mean, you could have, this is somebody who's like, oh my God, how do you say it? Your animal totem comes through here, right? And so your animals could be like super in tune with you and healing you in some way, shape, or form. Or you keep seeing a specific animal that's your animal totem, and it's trying to show you something. So do the research if these things are happening to you. This is also about truth and freedom, and really overall an exciting future, even though, you know, it might not be in a way that's, I mean, the truth is it's just downright scary. Like, it can be scary. Some of the things that are going to happen to us in order for us to see, for that illusion to be broken, if you will. Even with that, right? As I said before, that you find peace within so that you are not distracted by the things that are going on around you. Okay. And then we have Mercury conjunct Saturn, which can be messages of suppression of speech and suppression of the mind. So again, family, they're going to keep trying to rock you to sleep. That is, again, like I mentioned in the beginning, that is the only way that they know, right? They don't know how to be genuine. That's something that they have to learn. That's their karma. And so this is their way of life. You know, that's why it's being played out so well here. And so how do you defeat something like that? The same way if it came in as a smaller perspective, if we break it down into a situation where you're dealing with people who are coming in your life who are displaying these types of things, and you know that this person doesn't mean you any well, but it's like, how do I get away from that? How do I break free from that reality that's being played out in my life? Well, there are a few things. You can heal yourself, right? These are like the ancient ways that we talk about opening up the third eye, right? And so this is always about healing yourself, giving thanks and showing gratefulness to the things that came before you, feeding the earth, loving the earth, right? Getting out in the earth, in the world, connecting with the ground, the sun, and hugging trees, right? Or whatever other spiritual practices you may have. So meditation, learning more, educating more, learning about yourself. Self-knowledge is huge. It's going to play a huge role in this process. Eating right, treating people as you wish to be treated, right? And continuously living in a path and on a path of righting your wrongs, repenting, right? Asking for forgiveness, healing all situations that you can, and the ones that you can't, it's really more about healing yourself, right? That are going to bring in more things that you want to see no matter what's going on around you, right? And so what we've been working on, or reworking, rethinking, and contemplating on with that Mercury conjunct Saturn is all of what we've been through since Venus has been in Capricorn, bringing that energy all the way through, which is Saturn ruled, and all the retrogrades that we went through, the winter solstice energy, right? All those things that we've been kind of reworking, rethinking, and contemplating. When Mercury moves into Aquarius, there will be new solutions to old things, more pieces to the puzzle. This is like clear goals and future goals, right? What are you ready to build, and how do you want to get there? And just, again, trusting in that process, believing that this is what's meant for you, even if it's different from what you've already been doing, right? You have to believe that. You have to know that, especially with eclipse season coming in. It's going to wow your socks off, like every other eclipse season does. It's like, damn, I thought I was going to be a doctor, and now here I am, I don't know, walking dogs. I'm being facetious, but that was the first thing that came to my mind. It can literally be anything, anything. And so be open to that, receive that. Be flexible. Don't be rigid and stuck into one path or even one way of doing anything or succeeding in whatever it is you want your reality to look like moving forward. Because we've heard the saying before, right? Tell God your plans and watch him laugh at you, right? Because it was already written for you. And so there are going to be some things that you don't know, but you still do what you can. But when change comes in, be open to it. Try it out. See where it takes you. And you'll begin to know if it's for you or if it's not for you, right? But if you never take that opportunity, you're always going to wonder. That can create more of the confusion, the lack of clarity and fogginess in your life, right? And that's what you kind of want to avoid, right? And then we have the Venus-Mars-Pluto conjunction. And remember, we've been talking about this just like we've been talking about all of that Capricorn energy for a long time now. You know, so Mars is at its exaltation here, bringing you motivation to move forward, to help Venus firmly, courageously, and passionately show up as the values and upgrade that you've been working so hard with that Capricorn energy on changing. You know, so and for people who've been in relationships for a long time, this could be absolutely magical. If there are specific things that are changing in such a way that might not be so smooth, it could be intense in relationships, or it can turn into power and control dynamics. Anytime we're talking about Pluto, right? So again, just be mindful of the lower vibrations of that. And basically understanding that overall we are deeply removing things before the transformation around feminine and masculine energy and soul growth. You know, we're bringing in past lifetimes, healing past lifetimes, learning from past lifetimes, and the same with other dimensions of ourselves, right? That we're really mastering. That's what Capricorn energy is all about, is mastering something or being initiated for something. This is also bringing in better relationships and soul growth. Okay. This is also, again, the natal Pluto return for the U.S. chart activation, which is on the 20th, if I'm not mistaken. I think I'll be posting about that tomorrow, right? The beginning of the transformation for the U.S. So you already know with transformation comes a great deal of things that will absolutely have to be burned down. And so again, just going back to understand that it's not going to be easy, you know, but it's absolutely going to be beautiful. Do I want to add anything to that? I think the workforce world is changing. I did talk about that briefly in the weekly astrology. I know I told you guys I would be doing a video on the workforce and some of the changes that I've been seeing, and I swear I'm going to get to that at some point. I just wanted to get these videos out, and then I have a few lives to do, so maybe I'll do at the end of next week and have some content for the beginning of the following week. We'll see, but be patient with me. So yes, a lot of changes in the workforce, right? Because Pluto's still in Capricorn. A lot of changes in business and how business is being done for sure. I definitely think that this is going to be more beneficial for the people who are already on the bottom, because there's only one way you can go, is up. Even though the world around you may seem like it's crashing and feeling and not doing so well, I still feel like there's a bigger story being played out here. Remember, we're paying off karmic debt. And so if this is now their fall, right? This is their karma. And so now we're moving into our reaping the rewards. I do feel that way strongly, where we'll have the ability to grow. And again, people will come together, galvanize together to help rebuild new systems and structures how we want, in a way that brings freedom, just more healthy, and more happy, you know. Okay. And then Venus and Mars are the ruling planets that the nodes are in. And Mars, I know everybody might be like, wait. Scorpio's ruled by Pluto. Yes, you be right. The modern ruler of Scorpio is Pluto, but the ancient ruler of Scorpio is Mars. And so, let's see. Give me a sec here. So back to what I was saying about that Mars energy and why I feel like we're even getting a glimpse of what's to come with Mars. And I've been talking about this since the end of 2020, maybe even 2019. I can't remember when we had that Mars and Aries. I think it was the end of, maybe it was the end of 2019. Hell, please forgive me, guys. It's been a while. I honest to God can't remember. But you could go do a quick Google search if you want to check for yourself to really see and be sure. But I've been talking about this transformation of the masculine energy coming back for their crown for a while now, right? That men are sick and tired of the fucking bullshit too, right? Feminine have their what they're tired of and what they no longer want to deal with, but so doesn't the males, right? They've been through just as much as we've been through, right? And so I really do feel like this is going to end the masculine toxicity, right? And we're going to see a refresh of this energy, even very militantly. But when I think about this, I think about like the militant men who know the purpose and understand the purpose of sovereignty by way of the owning guns, right? They know that they're here to protect women. So gun laws and things, oh, you better fucking believe they're going to come out. This is going to be a huge topic. I'd even like to say that back in 2020, when we had the first shutdown, Chicago was going bonkers. And I remember seeing stories like the Black Panther Party, but they weren't the Black Panther Party. It was some other thing. I think, don't quote me because I really don't know what's going on with them. But I definitely think it was an extension of, or a mirror of, at the very least, where they had made a very strong message that if they come around here messing with their women and children, it's going to be a problem. And so I think we're going to see the egoic masculinity and the masculine on the higher vibration show up and show out in a major way. I do see it. I really do. And much more to come on that positive masculinity, where the positive men, the men who understand the mission, the men who know their role, right? The real role, right? The real strong men who aren't focused on just denigrating and downgrading women despite where they may be at, right? And same for the women in that same position. I really just see like this overwhelmed and empowering combination of people to come together, whether you're finding this relationship, if you're in this energy, or again, you're just networking and connecting with people of like minds this way, and just building and working together as a team on these kinds of beliefs and topics that I think, again, very magical here, just very, very, very magical. Okay. But yeah, so the themes for Taurus are banking, economics, currency, finance, food supply, agriculture, natural resources, land, nature, and again, going back to the simple things in life, where all this fame and money and being rich aren't really what's up. Like I've been talking about that for a while too. Like those things are not going to be what's a word that I want to use? Those things aren't going to be like the things that we look at in society anymore as ways of like what's cool or what's hot or what's the next whatever. I hope I explained that right. And then you have Scorpio, which is also a money sign, but big money, and secrets of the rich and powerful, sex, loans, mortgages, debt, taxes, investments, toxicity as well, betrayal. Yeah, man. I mean, there's so much more I can say, family. Please feel free to go back and look at all those other videos. It's going to give you more pieces of what it is I'm saying. But as you always know, I will be here to talk about this as we grow into this energy every step of the way. I hope you found this information helpful.